Hello, Elif Dülger from Sakarya University. In this presentation, we will talk about quality in future e-learning systems. The actual issue of recent months COVID-19, as you know, adversely affected many factors and their activities. At that point, e-learning systems has been as a solution, and it shows that only countries which can be adapted to digital era will be keep up their society. Countries need people who are innovative and well equipped, and it is only possible with education. Educational institutions encountering students called next generation. They expect to be able to work, learn, study whenever and wherever they want to do. And well-designed e-learning systems can respond to their requirements and expectations of this generation at a higher level. In this slide, we can analyze the typical production system and quality components. As input, supplier, some engineering drawing and raw materials will be used, and then process control, and in this stage, identifying patterns to reducing variability before production process completed. And then output quality is important for us. At that stage, quality approach as a whole, monitoring and continuous improvements, and all these systems called quality assurance systems. In first stage, we can summarize design quality, then process quality, and lastly, product quality. If we talk about quality of educational systems, what quality and accreditation systems say? One of the prominent accreditation organizations said that the key to ensuring the quality of educational programs as assessing of student learning with a focus on continuous improvements. They generally aims to make contribution to progress of educational quality. So we should focus on student learning quality to improving educational quality. For example, in detail, the standard says the programs should be designed so that they meet objectives for them, including the intended learning outcomes. And the other one said we should encourage the students to take an active role in creating their learning process. In this study, it will be present a quality management system framework that e-learning students can play an active role in their learning process, and at the same time it's possible to assess their acquisition of learning outcomes. In first stage, as I mentioned in other slide, firstly, input quality is important for us. Its components are infrastructure, prerequisite complete level, and learners' need and desired. All these components are important for readiness level, and readiness should be determined for personalized education. This is phase 1 for design quality. In process quality, the current process performance level is important, and differences between target value and it means learning outcomes, which comes from the Bologna process or other qualification framework, and we should determine the most convenient way to compensate. And we need some process management tools and techniques, because we use for monitoring and intervene in their learning process if needed. And lastly, output quality components are acquisition of learning outcomes at the desired level, qualified students, and customer satisfaction, of course, is important components for us. Because qualified students and alumni information are necessary for the continuous improvement system for educational institutions. Customized or personalized education can be addressed as a reflection of this customized product. And traditional education has been replaced by differentiated, in other words, personalized education, since it's thought that education should be offered by taking individual differences into consideration. For design quality, readiness is important component for us, and the aim is to prepare the student infrastructure to the individual e-learning process in the best possible way. In brain, cognitive domain and affective domain can work together at the same time. So we can need to much more tests via e-test in our e-learning systems. Firstly, cognitive style analysis, learning style analyzed can be determined, and prior knowledge and other mental skills is important data for cognitive domain. But at the same time, students' attitudes, curiosity to the subject, and other motivational factors is play the key role on their learning process. If we talk about the process quality, we can say that if all qualifying conditions are provided, then the learning process can start. So current process performance is important. Differences between the target value again important for us because we should choose the most convenient way to compensate using prior knowledge, using attitudes, using and the other data which we obtained. So process management tools and techniques should be used for monitoring and improving their e-learning process performance for process quality. At that stage, we use a modular approach and we can again use some reference model such as SCORM or Cisco. It's possible to monitor and intervene in the e-learning processing differently for each learning by using learning analytic techniques. The learning analytics concept emerged as a reflection of big data technology in the field of e-learning. Students leave digital traces as a huge amount of data during e-learning activities. These data can be processed to make it easier to their e-learning process or use some educational or administrative purposes. We can see some learning analytic techniques in this slide. And the other important components is virtual mentors. In the e-learning process, the students alone because of the lack of interaction, and their motivation is more easy to deteriorate. So managing this process is more difficult. That's why the virtual mentors come to the fore. And virtual mentors work as a facilitator to manage this further individual process. To improve process quality, firstly, we can analyze the learning process. We can describe this process at 4 stages, which is information gathering, meaning, grasping, and reflecting. And 4th stage, information gathering from virtual learning environments, LMS or CMS, and supporting other sources if needed. In meaning stage, summarize with her own words is important, and comments on learning units again is important. This 2 stage is about information process capability. In 3rd stage, called grasping, establish connection with other units using his or her information to the new situation again is important. And last, the reflection, reasoning mechanism is important, and problem solving skill come forth in this stage. And last 2 stage is about knowledge process capability. For quality assurance, achieving learning outcomes is important. In detail, acquisition of learning outcomes at the desired level, qualified students, and lastly, of course, customer satisfaction is important for us. Customer means at the same time students, e-learning students, at the same time society, at the same time educational institutions' workers is again our main purpose for quality approach. So qualified students and qualified alumni information are necessary for the continuous improvement system of education institutions. This is the phase 3. Diagnosis, analysis, and evaluation of the points where the target has not been achieved appear as an important issue with the quality systems. Because education 4.0 puts on innovation on the focus, and this learning cycle is essential for innovation. In this way, it will be possible for the institution to monitor itself, and can necessary infrastructure will be contributed to realization of the learning organization. The innovation, which is the heart of the last revolution, is not only the basic necessity of the curriculum, but also for the future e-learning systems. So, to achieve this, education institutions should be self-perpetuations. Quality management approach able to prevent unsuccessful students, non-productive e-learning systems. Successful results to be achieved at this point with both motivate the current and potential students and reveal the effectiveness of e-learning system. The educational institutions can evaluate on performance according to the quality standard or accreditation organization it adopts. This approach will be used to create an intelligent tutoring system to manage and improve student e-learning process quality. At the stopping point of the progress of the process, it can give some advice using learning analytics techniques. This study is important for applying an interdisciplinary approach, in this case from artificial intelligence tools and techniques to education systems. Thank you.